right. It might be a teensy wincy early to film about this, but I don't want to let it go for too long because then it will be just a nightmare to recap on it. But I quickly want to share with you guys that I secured a super part time job. And this job is with a Facebook ads agency based in Florida. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about it. So, I've been trying to get a remote job that will suit my working hours, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that's a 6 hour window for the longest time. Now, recruitment companies that I share about are looking for someone who's full time, so 40 hours a week that are available from 8 to 5 or from 9 to 5, whatever. And there were, I would say, out of my list of 25, there were probably like 10 to 12 that did offer a part time gig here and there, but it depended on the role. And I wanted a super chill virtual assistant, executive assistant type of a role. So, my strengths, especially when I'm under pressure, is implementation. If I know what to do, I'm going to do it. What I can't do as a part time job is do something that requires me to think a lot. The only thoughts that I can have can be towards strategy, but that's like a once a month type of a thing because you spend the rest of the time implementing. So my goal was to get something that was super implementy. And my previous employer, he did that so nicely because he would send you videos, tutorials, things about what to do. And basically all you had to do was do it because he didn't have time to do those things. But he also needed them to be done right. Like he needed to like also trust you with that particular task. So that's what I was looking for. So the jobs on my list of remote job sites are serious jobs. Like they are 40 hours a week, full time roles with benefits, with US based benefits. Anyway, so while I was compiling the list, I was also setting apart a few of the recruitment agencies that would that sometimes advertise like part-time roles. There's one that does that excellently, but I don't have a laptop that has 8 GB of RAM. This is a big problem and a lost opportunity because while I don't have this laptop, I'm missing out on really great jobs because I have 4 GB. So there's been like jobs that are like 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day that I'm missing out on because so far I'm not passing the computer device check, blah, blah, blah. And yes, they do check, they have some link that you have to follow. Anyway, so they are the ones that have the best part time jobs. There are some that would appear here and there on LinkedIn, but the competition for it is high and it depends on what it is that they want you to do, blah, 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 blah. So, which takes us back to Upwork. Like, I didn't want to go back to Upwork to such an extent that they kind of blocked my account because I've been inactive for over a year. So, that wasn't on purpose. I was studying last year and then I got into a job and the job took up all my time. So, it doesn't surprise me that I've been inactive for that long. However, the part-timey jobs, especially if you have the right like client, employer, whatever you want to call them, they are on Upwork. And that's exactly how I got my job. I was invited to an interview. It was with one of the companies on my list, and everything just seemed so perfect. Like I was sure that I was going to get this job. So then they invited me for an interview. What I did not know about this interview was that it was a group interview. Now that sucked because um, there were a ton of people there with like very good like expertise and things like that, and it made me feel like the bottom of the barrel, not because of my experience, more because I don't think I can sell myself in a group setting. And because I did not know that that's what was going to happen, I feel like I felt unprepared, even though when it was my turn to speak, I did say like all the experiences that I've had and all the expertise that I have. But and I felt like the vibe was good. But then the interview was Wednesday, but then on a Friday they sent me a rejection letter, and yeah, that was that. A couple of days later, I did send an email asking what it is that I lacked, in case they would answer so that I can work on those things. But she did ask a question about lead generation, and I don't think that my answer was that impressive. I don't do lead generation as my main task, but if my client needs me to do a little bit of lead generation, I'll do it. The only thing I don't do is find the leads. Like I said, I'm an implementer. So they would find the leads. All I have to do is basically follow up and engage with the people and only tell my client when someone has been warmed up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like they're ready to talk. So and it was nice doing that for my previous client. So I feel like that's where I shine, mainly because I don't have the expertise to look for people. Um, and I'm sure that a small training can fix that. So that's basically what happened. So I got rejected from these people, but then on the Sunday or something, Monday, I can't remember, I got a message from someone on Fiverr. Bear in mind, I have not touched my Fiverr since February. The reason for that is whenever someone asks me to do something on Fiverr and it feels like I won't do a good job, I reject the job. And the reason for that is to secure my rating. My rating is quite high, and I once accepted a job that I didn't feel good about, and then the person basically ripped me to shreds and enjoyed doing that. Some people are evil, guys. Yo. Anyway, so then they reached out to me. We set a meeting. The meeting was this past Monday. We chatted, and basically, I'm working for them now. So it's actually nice. Like the person I work for is awesome, and I think her business is the kind of setup I want to work for or want to work with. It's not too big. You play a crucial role, and the tasks are manageable. Even yesterday on Upwork, I saw one that I might like, but then they want a Loom video, and I'm not in the mood. But it just, I think everything else about them is awesome. So I don't know. Maybe I might do it today if I feel like a tiny bit better than what I feel now. But I think it just depends on what you want and what you're willing to do to get it. Because currently, I think that 20K extra, honestly, even 5K extra would be great. But my goal, my target is to make 20K extra because the money that I make from my teaching job is just enough to cover my fixed costs. Now, yes, you can take into account the fact that I had to pay people back. Yes, that played a major role, but it still won't solve the rest of the issues I have because I need a car. I have a car now, but it's a family car. I need my own car, right? One day I might need to move into another place. I need money for that. I need money to have a hair person on standby. I need money to smell amazing. I've always wanted to have a perfume collection, and currently I have like three, and that's like my survival kit. I guess I guess what I'm trying to say is that I want to get out of survival and into thrival. I'm kidding. I don't think that's a word. Anyway, and so yeah, I need to get like a soft life for myself because that's the only way I can get it. Calm down. So the point is, I secured my new job through Fiverr, and the only thing I want to say about it is the fact that I have not touched my gig descriptions since 2021. That time when I corrected them when they were set up wrong. So this person reached out to me based on something I did in 2021. That's how you know that your Fiverr profile is set up the right way or it's set up correctly. So the other day, I was trying to bid on this other social media job on Upwork, and it was a South African company. And I realized that my Upwork things are out of date. The last time I bid on Upwork was a year ago, but I was still using like 2022 stuff. When I looked at my portfolio, there were parts of it that were like super blurry, like it was kind of embarrassing. And they've evolved as a company, but I haven't. Fiverr has evolved as well, not the core concept of who they are. So what I'm trying to say is that Fiverr and Upwork, they still work. It's just that people are still not taking them seriously 5 years later. Fiverr started in 2010, Upwork started in 2013, and yet people are still not taking it seriously. So once things are settled with my client, I'll let you know how much I'm making from that client, and then also how much more I'm gonna need to reach my target remote work income goal. And yeah, so basically from the end of July, I'm gonna start sharing like my real income. By real income, I mean all my incomes from basically everything that I'm doing now in the 3 week um, teacher holiday to make money online or to secure a remote job. So yes, so the August payday is gonna be very interesting. Even this one is interesting, but the August one is gonna be way more interesting. So All right, guys, I think that is all I wanted to share with you. I will share how the job is going, what I'm expected to do, what can you do to get a virtual assistant job that's remote. But I have been sharing about it here and on my TikTok account, etc. All the resources that I needed to do all of this is going to be in my links and in the description down below. So everything you need is there. All right, but if you do have questions, let me know in the comments. All right, it's getting dark. I'm gonna go lay down because my digital products are working for me. Ciao.